Good morning to you. 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on a Monday, July 27th. Brandon Hardison with Champion Strategies for another edition of Hardison'S Tips. Hey, I know you're trying to get ready for work. I'm glad you gave me a few minutes, so let's unpack this and get into it. Today, we're going to talk about those sales managers. Maybe you're new and you haven't had enough experience yet, but I want you to think of this. How many times have you thought you have taught someone to do something correctly only to get a different result than you expected? Many inexperienced sales managers make the same mistake during a sales training session of just telling someone what needs to be done or even explaining how to do it. But they leave out one very important step where the manager demonstrates. You can tell all day, but some people, unless they see the boss do it, that's the only way it's going to sink into their head. So there's traditionally 8 steps to trying to get somebody to understand a particular part of a process or processes. And that is explaining what needs to happen. That's you, the manager. Explain why it's important to learn or master this skill. That's your job, the manager. Explain the step that will happen. That's your job, the manager. Demonstrate what needs to happen so they can watch you do it. And then once you're done, watch them do the task. Once you've seen them do the task, give feedback. Have them repeat the step if they did not anchor it, master it to what you were looking for as far as the behavior part. And then the key thing, let's follow up. Basic management one-on-one, managing by walking around, having daily one-on-ones don't have to be long with your people, but come on, let's find out how we can make them better. So if I'm trying to get to you to understand why we're doing a process, let's explain the steps that will happen, what you expect from them. Once again, why we're doing it, why is it important, why this step is necessary for the overall good of the team. This allows the learner to be comfortable and focus on the task that's at hand because they know what is coming next. If you skip any of these steps or jump right into the demonstration, you run the risk of the learner not really being focused on why they're doing it. Another potential pitfall will come up. So, once again, explain why we're doing this, why it's important to master this particular part of the process or skill, and explain the steps that you actually want them to go through. Now, if you can remember that, now the biggest part that we leave out, you, the manager, let me demonstrate what I expect you to do. This is very important. As mentioned, this clarifies each aspect of the task that you expect to be done. Questions can be asked and answered, so there's no confusion. This step further gives you that coaching leadership ability. Instead of having someone say, oh, I thought you meant. No, by you demonstrating it, they see how you want it done. Take the time to walk them through the step, making sure that they're watching what you're doing so that they can reduplicate the expectation. Without the demonstration, you leave out a lot of room for interpretation and the possibility of feeling frustration, and we do not want our people frustrated. So after you, the manager, demonstrated, watch your people do the task. Let them practice. Don't assume that they will understand and move on. I want to hear you role play. I want to see you go through these steps, because this is one of the biggest mistakes for managers. Just saying you got it and moving on does not hit it. What new person as a manager risks is the approval by telling other people what they think you want them to say. And that's not good training. Make them do the task. If it involves a live illustration, once again, you play the customer or you play that other employee so they can role play the word tracks. You need to have notes mentally so I know how I can work with you one-on-one to reinforce so you can understand this part of the process. And once again, like we said, give feedback. You don't have to beat anybody up, but it's an opportunity, if you're a leader, to make adjustments. Make sure that you see them do the task correctly a few times before you send them off on their own. Have them repeat it back to you. This step of feedback is overlooked. Make sure that they understand and what you expect, and it will be a lot better for both sides. And it makes you, as a leader, get more respect from your team. And the key thing that we get on our salespeople, we as managers, we don't follow up. Why do I want to follow up? Well, once again, repetition, repetition, repetition. If they become more comfortable, they're going to be more confident when it comes to doing that part of the process. I cannot stress following up enough. Follow up on all new behaviors. Do not, I repeat, do not ever stop checking. That's your job as a leader. What you will do is gradually wean off checking their work as they improve. Follow these simple steps when it comes to teaching something new with your people. And believe me, you'll be better off. But the key thing in anything that's new that you want to demonstrate to your people as a manager, you have to demonstrate it. Just don't say, team, we need you to go out and do it. You say, hey, here's what it is. Here's why it's important. Here's what we get as a team overall. Let me demonstrate it to you. Gather around. Go through it. Go through it slowly. If there's word tracks involved, they don't have to be mimicking you, but whatever they can do and put it into their brain so it makes sense and they're comfortable with it, make sure they understand it. Give them a chance to do it as you watch and see. Give good positive feedback in a one-on-one situation, and assign homework or follow up. If you can do these things, now we're talking about becoming not only a good new manager with less bad habits, but also a good sustained coach. And that's what people are looking for. Once again, Brandon Hardison for Champion Strategies with another Hardison'S tip for Monday, July 27th. Don't forget, Wednesday, the 29th at 12 noon, our live Hardison tips at 12 noon on Wednesday, the 29th. The incomparable Corey Mosley will be with us as guest, and you don't want to miss out on that. So until next time, you go out and make it a champion.